Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. We will be opening up the phone lines in probably about 30 minutes. So if anybody's calling in now, feel free to call right back or hang tight backstage. What is up? Sorry. Welcome on in. Today's going to be super chill. We're just going to kind of hang and check in, talk about our day, and anything else we want to. Good to see you, Amelia, Molly, Ziggy, Sensei, Farmer, Jill, Beach Fairy, Mary Flynn, Jill Moser, Cindy, how are you? Tattoo.
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition.
Good to see you, Sensei. Grunge truck. Easter is usually in the middle of April, I thought. Well, didn't you know this was the rapture? I'm working on a live stream on my channel 2, or now it's called Chan 2, about the whole red heifer April 8th eclipse. A lot of strange going-ons with that. But all morning I've been putting information together for Sebastian Rogers' case, trying to educate myself on the facts surrounding that situation there. Good to see you, Molly. Horihito, what's up? Yep. It's probably what it's all about. Over time, it becomes part of the occult, and then they begin to use certain things. because we're pretty advanced when it comes to mathematics and things like that here on planet Earth for sure. I mean, we recently crashed into an asteroid just to see if we can kind of knock it off its path. It took 7 years to get from Earth and then to precisely hit this asteroid. That is math perfection. Now, hopefully, that asteroid doesn't eventually come and hit us, or but it looks like they're preparing to hit the larger of two asteroids. So they hit a small one, probably to test it out. Be probably more realistic to gather data from hitting the little one. You'd be able to find out the failures. You'd be kind of just on a smaller scale. And then if they can be successful with that, they know in 7 years they can knock the other one out of alignment if it was coming towards Earth. I think we do have a couple threats coming up, one in 2029 and another in 2035, I believe. What's up, Hiawatha? What's up, Brandon? Welcome in, Mustang. Mustang Sally. Yeah, and it definitely has a lot to do with the weather, too. It's all synced up. Molly says, I have been all over the Sebastian Rogers case. What a cast of characters, especially stepdad and his family. Have you seen the interview with his ex-wife? Number 4. Found her believable. I don't know. I really like the father. Um, I think he would be a great spokesperson for the family. He hides his pain well, stays focused. I think that's important that you bury the pain, while you're searching. You want to stay focused and available and receptive, in my opinion. But yeah, I have both. What interview did I grab with them? So I have the father's raw interview where he's kind of standing outside and he's wearing that shirt with Sebastian's face on it. So we'll cover that one. And then it says here Sebastian's parents speak on teen's disappearance. It was local news. That's the one that I have. But I'm going to try to get everything that I can. So, and if you want, you can always send me links to my email at sleuthintuition.com. I'll take a look. If there's any information in there that I don't have covered elsewhere, I'll make sure to add it. And then we'll do our best to get a good overview on all the facts with Sebastian's case. Yeah, Farmer, it's impressive. What's going on, Charlotte? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now, this is NASA's DART mission, capital DART. So it's titled Hits Asteroid in First Ever Planetary Defense Test. So this sends chills down my spine. This is more Channel 2 stuff, but I mean, today we're whatever. But let me share this little video with you guys. I think I have this up on my channel too. Okay. So now they targeted this little guy right here. Now, what this makes me believe that 7 years from this, we may be expecting this guy to crash into us. So we sent something out into space similar to a satellite. And it took 7 years to get to this point for them to cross paths perfectly this way. Look at this thing floating through space. How crazy is that? And then smack. Let's just hope they weren't trying to hit it towards us. They're like, let's build our spaceships and we'll go into orbit and then we'll knock a asteroid and, you know, we'll destroy everybody on planet Earth and then we'll come back. After everything settles down and the nuclear winter clears. What's going on, Tech Death? The Tech Death hippie. Grunge Truck, what's up? I want to go running during the eclipse, though. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of mystery surrounding it. 7 years ago, we had another one. And this one here on April 8th is going to make an X right across the United States. Molly, it's raining over here with us. It's been raining all day, and it looks like it's going to rain for the rest of the day, even. Hey, Squeaky, the Richard Allen defense team filed a motion on Friday asking goal for the April 8th eclipse to be delayed. The eclipse to be delayed? So Richard has a chance to watch it. She hasn't ruled on it yet. Good one, Squeaky. Let me see if I got something for that. This one might work.
Swear me and my brother, man.
Good old Al Pacino. Rerouting, then so they don't crash into us. Yeah. So they say, Devoted. What's up, Cindy? Asteroids. I used to love that game. It's spinning around. Pew, pew, pew. You too, Charlotte. Tech Dad says, I need a new membership. Here, maybe I can gift some right now. Maybe you'll get lucky. Let me put your comments up here. Maybe that'll register you better. I think I have to open it on my desktop. Hold on. DT, new listener. Welcome in, buddy. Make yourself at home. Kick off your feet. No, kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Boogie on down to the escape beat. Just kick it.
Switch to Chrome.
All right, no whammies. Let's see who will get a membership. Oh, I better see if I have some to give out. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oop, I have 5. Boom. See if you get lucky, Tech. So we gifted 5. Cindy, Tech Death. Oh, yeah. Sharon Parker, Mary Flynn, and Phil Bond. Ask and you shall receive. Farmer, some esoteric formula for when Easter is. I like Thanksgiving. Last Thursday of the month. Easy peasy. All right, who did I miss? Oh, what's up, Beth? Says Seth Rogers is asking for volunteers for the search tomorrow. It's my understanding, after listening to the father, that what is it, the Cajun Army or something like that? Well, he said they're down there, and they every once in a while they'll get big groups, and he'll get he'll separate everybody into small groups, and he says they're out there all day, coming and going, and anybody can show up and join. You show up, you sign a piece of paper, most likely a waiver. If you trip and twist your ankle, they don't have to cover your medical bills or whatever. And then you're good to go. Oh, I'm sorry. The Cajun Navy left. I don't think they did leave. I think that was like a red herring or something. Beach Fairy says, I can't imagine how they're feeling this far in. The dad is clearly hoping he's just hiding out at a friend's. I hope so. It seems unfortunately unlikely at this point that no one would let them know. Well, there is a case that this kind of reminds me of. Yeah, let me see if I still have it available here. Yeah. Are you guys familiar with the Alicia Navarro case? Now, this one was out of Phoenix, Arizona. Well, technically Glendale, but I mean, Phoenix is Phoenix. Metropolitan Valley. It's like one of the biggest cities in the world. Okay, so this young lady here was lured out of her home and is now living with a man, I believe, in Canada. She was a video game, she was into video games, and she was also part of a Discord where she was targeted and groomed and eventually lured out. And I believe she is still with this person. I believe she was autistic as well. And from my understanding, Sebastian was into Roblox. So, from my own personal understanding, I know that if you don't go in there and adjust those settings, people can comment and ask questions. They can say, "Oh, hi." And then you message back, "Hi." And it's just some random stranger. What's your pet's name? What's your mom and dad's name? What's your Wi-Fi password? Just, randomly trying to fish for information. So he could have been lured out. But let's take a look at this case, and you guys can tell me if you see any similarities. But it popped right in my head right now during this discussion. Let's see if it's relevant. So this is Fox News out of Phoenix.
The teenager left her home in Glendale back in 2019, left a note saying...
real quick, can you guys hear that? Let's do a quick sound check. Let me zoom all the way down to the bottom here. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Yeah, Roblox. Grunge Truck. Yes, Roblox. Sounds good. Thank you, Steelers.
I'm leaving, but I'll be back. Only to resurface last weekend, 4 years later. More than 1,300.
Real quick, just want to welcome Hot Sauce to members. Welcome in. Welcome to the Sleuth crew.
Miles away. Tonight, we're learning more about where exactly she's been.
Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum joins us live after speaking to the private investigator who helped Alicia's mom on that long search, almost 4 years now, for her daughter.
John, Christina, Alicia Navarro walked right into the Havre Police Department in Montana near the Canadian border. I'm told she wanted to be taken off the missing persons list so she could get her ID and other documents.
Miracles do exist, and never lose hope and always fight.
Stunned and overwhelmed by news she's waited for since Alicia Navarro ran away from her Glendale home in September of 2019. On Wednesday, Jessica Nunez reunited with her now 18-year-old daughter over a video call. Trent Steele, president of Anti-Predator Project, has been by Jessica's side working to find Alicia. How many tips have you received yourself?
If I went back and looked, well over 1,000, 2,000 maybe, and they've come in from all over the country, all over the world. And we've gotten tips from Europe, Mexico, Canada, from coast to coast, Los Angeles to New York, Seattle to Miami.
So the ones from Canada were the ones to follow up on.
I mean, we've gotten tips all over the world.
So just think about this. She's from Arizona, and she ended up in Canada.
Why did Alicia end up in Montana?
Well, that's $1 million question.
A question yet to be answered. Glendale police say the teen walked into Havre Police Department, located in a small town in Montana near the U.S.-Canadian border, identifying herself and asking to be removed from the missing persons list. Steele tells me Alicia wanted to get her ID and other documents, but what she's been doing since September 15th, 2019 is still unclear.
There's still a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces.
She's with some creepy guy.
I think information's probably going to continue to come out for the next weeks, months, maybe even years.
Alicia's mother has told Fox 10 in previous reports that her daughter enjoyed online gaming and could have been lured away from home.
There was a certain point where she maybe didn't expect this to have this type of outcome. So she's pretty overwhelmed. She's trying to deal with the situation. And, obviously she still has other kids at home. She still has a life to live. So she's trying to get this all in perspective and pull everything together.
A statement from Alicia's family to Fox 10 reads in part, "We want to start by saying how happy we are that Alicia has been found alive and safe. It is a blessing that after being missing for so long, Alicia can come back home. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families of missing loved ones that have not yet returned home. If there is anything that Alicia's story has taught us, is that you can never give up hope.
And that was kind of my point. And it sounds very similar to Sebastian's case. So, I mean, could be very similar to what has happened to him. This has happened in the past too, where men will lure other men or kidnap men and just keep them, like 2 or 3 at a time. It's really strange. We've covered multiple cases like that. I think there's even something related to the Johnny Gosch case that's very similar to that. It's like a sex trafficking, but not on a wide scale, just some sicko who's most likely a killer too. Let me go up to Grunge Truck. Did you watch any fights last night? Yeah, great fights. Great fights. Man, the luck on Zoo. See, this is the difference between great champions like Floyd Mayweather and Zoo. He made a poor choice to take that fight on 12 days' notice. You know, that's that cocky attitude. And then boom, one strange thing happens and you get cut on your forehead and now you're blind the entire fight. And you got this 6'4" skinny 154-pound phenom throwing hooks around your guard and sticking with that long jab. Yeah, he asked for it. But that's the difference. It's that IQ. Floyd Mayweather would have been like, nope, I'm not taking that fight with that beast. You know, I'll fight him next after I can train for 6 weeks. And then Pitbull. Yeah, Grunge Truck. It's unfortunate. And the thing is, if he wouldn't have got cut on his head, he would have won. Because you could see the first 2 rounds, he was taking him to school. Yeah, good fights, though. Ziggy says, I don't understand. Why would they be threatened when they are out there to help? Well, what happens is you get content creators that get kind of radicalized people. So it happens. I mean, we watch it in real time on YouTube all the time surrounding the Delphi case. I mean, these guys are in a fucking cult for sure. The Pied Piper, or I call it the Rat King. And when they're done with their king, they'll eat him. They'll eat him alive and crown the next. Whoever has the loudest mouthpiece and the loudest platform for the lunatics will be their guy. Step on up. Step on up, Neo. Beach Fairy says, oh, yeah, everyone thought she'd been killed. The guy has been arrested now, I think. Oh, really? Should do a follow-up on that. Yeah, Farmer, that's true. And that's what I heard. I heard there was a lot of negative stuff going on about the Cajun Navy. But the first place I heard it was on JLR. So I don't know what's really going on. I don't have any of those facts. So from everything I can see, they are very helpful. The father said he goes out there and they got people in the water. They're organizing. They're doing grid searches. He says they're doing it all day long. Boom, boom, organizing, sending out groups. So, I mean, I tend to take his word for it, really. If anybody knows, it would be him. And then you have the kind of snapshot. I don't know what you want to call that. It's where basically people show up and they take a snapshot and they're assuming that that's what it is all day long. But really, you know, they just left. Could have had 6 groups leave and then you show up and there's like 2 people there. You know, and then you go back and report that one little quick snapshot that you took, like, hey, look, there's nobody here. Yep, Alicia Navarro. She popped up on my radar beach ferry because when I was looking into the Delphi case and Redwine popped up, he lived a mile from her. He lived a mile from Alicia Navarro. You guys know about Mark Redwine? See if I can pull up a story on him. Disgusting mofo right here. Killed his son, 13-year-old son, Dylan. Eventually, they did find Dylan. Here, let me share my screen right now. So Dylan confronted his father for finding photos of him in drag and eating feces from a diaper. You can kind of see that right here. So viewer discretion is advised. I'm not going to click on it, but it's some really disgusting stuff. And he didn't want anything to do with his father. He told the courts, like, hey, man, I don't want to be with this dude. He's a jerk. I don't like him. He's a mean dude. I think there's an interview with Mark where he's like saying he was innocent. It's really strange. We'll take a look at that. Oh, here it is. KOAT News. Look at him, he's smiling. Found his boy. He's been murdered. Look, this is what a guilty man looks.
Okay, so thank you so much for speaking with me on camera, Mark.
You're welcome.
Okay, I want you guys to notice something. Watch how he goes into character. This is very similar to Richard Allen, just moments before he steps out into the crowd and into the courtroom from that back room. Now some of the cameras were able to film him back in the room with a cocky look on his face. And then the second he comes out into that room, he puts on that character. So watch Mark Redwine do the very same thing.
Whenever you're ready, Julian. I am ready. Okay, so
Right on cue.
thank you so much for speaking with me on camera, Mark.
You're welcome.
What's it been like?
Well, it's been a tough time for all of us. I know. I know that it's been difficult on me, and I can only imagine how difficult it's been for his mom and his brother and his family over in the Colorado Springs area. And we're doing everything we can to try to find Dylan, and we want to keep the focus on finding Dylan. And I've been working with the investigators to make sure that all the bases are being covered on that end. And that's pretty much where I'm at with that. I mean, I'm doing everything I know how to do.
I want to get the subject out of the way first. There's a lot of suspicion out there. Even when Elaine went on ABC News,
Right.
she was. Can you address that,
please? Well, I can only imagine being a mother of the flesh.
Yes, Molly. Remember we talked about those cases.
Son going missing.
I'll pull that up next.
I can only think that has to do with lashing out and trying to find who's accountable for this in this situation. You know, I've been working closely with the investigators to do what needed to be done because, you know, it was last seen at my house. I know there's rumors going around that he's been spotted by people, and you know, our concern is that, you know, something has happened to the point now where we just want to keep in the public's eye, you know, Dylan's face, and keep the focus on Dylan, and you know, don't worry about me, and everything's going to be all right on my end. But I know this is only a troubling time for Elaine and my son Corey, and I spoke with him last night, and you know, I'm surprised that we haven't been able to hook up today because, you know, one of the things that we're trying to do is unite together, and I have
Stephen
my
Earl
oldest
Craft
son from the Phoenix
was the
area here, and
case.
of course my brother's here, so we're trying to unite as a
Oh, wait,
family
did he
and
say
stay
Phoenix,
focused
Arizona?
on. So we're trying to unite as a family and stay together, and I have my oldest son from the Phoenix area here.
From the Phoenix area, see? He was living in Scottsdale, or not Scottsdale, sorry, Glendale, a mile from Alicia. They were separated by a park. You had Alicia's home here on the west side of the park. Then you had his apartment on the right side, on the east side of the park.
And of course my brother's here, so we're trying to unite as a family and stay focused on what's important here, and you know, everybody wants to focus on me, but the focus isn't me right now. The focus is finding Dylan, and that's where I'm at.
Why do you think people want to focus on you?
Well, because I think it's just a natural part of the process, and I think because, you know, he was last seen
Oh,
with
really,
me,
Squeaky Will?
and he was with me
That's
the
good
night
news. Thank you.
before, and you know, I saw him the morning that I left to go run my errands.
What's up,
You
Cryptex?
know, that's the
Great
logical
video the
place
other
to
day, man.
start. And so it
Had me
doesn't at
thinking.
all surprise me, you know, that they searched my home yesterday, because quite frankly, I was expecting that to
Hey,
happen a
Sharon.
week ago. So, you know, my opinion is we're all a week late in where we're at with this.
See, this guy, he's lying right through his teeth. Got cold-blooded killer. He killed his little boy. All to hide the shame. He would rather have his baby boy dead than have his shame and his secrets exposed.
In that, so really the focus.
So we covered a case. I believe this is the right one. Stephen Earl Craft. Let me pull up that video real quick. Or actually, let me just pull up the folder. I should have it. Okay, here it is. Stephen Craft. Yep, this is it. Let me just pull up my True Crime in the Morning episode. That'll be easier.
Wix.
What's up, Hathersmere? Welcome in. They might have, Beth, but I also know they said that they were going to return, but just kind of more incognito. What the hell's this? I didn't click on this. All right, maybe we'll just skip through it. So I'm not that organized this morning, but I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go with this. Yeah, Sparky, you take it easy. sure you'll figure it out. You'll heal over time. I know you will. And we got your back emotionally too, so we're here for you. Jason says the mission by the house, was it just a church or a homeless shelter? Well, let's see here. It was established by Pastor Tom Williams. He's the creator of it. Let me pull up. I got a photo of the place.
What's up, Bogey?
Here,
Good to
along
see
with
you.
some details. So it's titled Harbor Haven Ministries. And that was started by Tom Williams. And he doesn't live anywhere near Michigan anymore. Very active in the church still today. Oh, here it is. So here's the story. This is the part of the story I wanted to show you. Okay, I have 2 articles I want to read about Michael. And then we're going to look at some of these maps that might help you guys understand his path. What's up, Rain Dancer? Brad from outside of the grid. What's up? Yeah, we love you, Cindy. And Jamie. Both of you. Okay, I have 2 articles I want to read about. Real quick, Molly. Yeah, I heard that, but they also made a post on Twitter saying that they would shortly be returning shortly, but they wouldn't be announcing anything about it. Michael. And then we're going to look at some of these maps that might help you guys understand his path. Here's a photo of inside of his apartment. It's disgusting. So this is what Sean Hornbeck was living with for 4 years. So Sean Hornbeck was another child that was abducted, and he was living with his kidnapper. And these are the conditions that he was left in. But eventually he was found and returned to his home. That shit's nasty. Guarantee you got some cockroaches in there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rain Dancer. Yeah, we need you in here. Share it if you can. Jessica, thank you, Sleuth Intuition, for the details regarding these cases. Always enjoy your channel. Thanks. Always enjoy your input. HP staff writer. This was published April 19th, 2007, titled Missouri Case Prompts FBI to Revisit 2001 Disappearance of Bentontown Boy. And actually, on that note, I'm going to go grab another bottled water. I feel my voice getting scratchy. And you ask for the closest gas station in the area, there's only one. It's a Citgo. So if you add that to your path to his, well, I guess, well, if you guys want to. The hell? Let me shut down some of these windows. See if that helps. Disappearance, Benton Township boy. At the Associated Press, Benton Township, the FBI is checking for possible connections between a man charged in a nationally publicized case with kidnapping 2 boys in Missouri and the disappearance of Stephen Kraft of Benton Township in 2001. Michael Devlin of Kirkwood, Missouri, faces numerous charges in kidnapping of Ben Ownby, 13, in January, and Sean Hornbeck, then 11, in 2002. Now, I want you guys to look at the similarities between Sean Hornbeck, who was 11. Stephen was only 12 years old, and he was abducted in 2001. Same MO. The boys were found on January 12th at Devlin's apartment. Police said Ben was kidnapped 4 days earlier after getting off a school bus, and Sean, now 15, had been held by Devlin for 4 years. Devlin denies any involvement. Investigators are now assembling a timeline of the 41-year-old Devlin's travels over the years to check for potential connections with the unsolved case in 4 states, including the disappearance of then 12-year-old Stephen Kraft on February 15th. That's a typo, 2001. FBI Special Agent Al DeBrito of the Violent Crimes Task Force said Devlin visited Michigan each summer for years, spending vacation time with his family in a rented cottage in Pentwater, about 130 miles north of Benton Harbor. While there is no specific link to Stephen, Devlin most likely drove through Benton Harbor area to reach Pentwater, DeBrito said. We're still turning over every rock, said DeBrito. Who has been involved with the case from the start and whose office is in St. Joseph? Stephen lived with his parents at 2103 Holly Drive in Benton Heights. He went out to play with 2 family dogs on a chilly afternoon and never returned. The dogs were found, but a search by hundreds of police, firefighters, and citizens, assisted by tracking dogs and helicopters, failed to turn up a trace of the missing boy, who was a 6th grader at Hull Elementary School. Over the next several months, searchers covered 6 square miles of terrain, while police focused searches on specific areas, including ponds. No evidence was found. And investigators have not established what happened to Stephen DeBrito. What happened to Stephen? DeBrito said that while the FBI believes Devlin traveled through the Benton Harbor area in the summer, Stephen disappeared in February. Benton Township Police Chief Vince Fetke said the FBI's investigation for possible connections will have a positive effect, even if no tie is found. It brings everything back to the surface, Fetke said. All that focus comes back here, to people who may have seen something, may have forgotten something. Benton Township Police periodically have contact with Stephen's family, Fetke said, and any new information is checked. They can be assured we will not let it lie, he said. Tips about the Stephen Kraft case can be reported to Benton Township Police Department at 926-8221, the FBI office in St. Joseph, 982-0390, or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 800-843-5678. Washington County, Missouri. 7 more charges were filed this week against Devlin, who was already charged with kidnapping Ownby in Franklin County and kidnapping Hornbeck in Washington County. The new charges are attempted murder, kidnapping, armed criminal action, 3 counts of forcible sodomy, and 1 count of attempted forcible sodomy. Devlin is accused of trying to suffocate one victim after kidnapping him. That's terrifying. So yeah, that's what Beach Fairy was referring to when she said Michael Devlin. I know it's kind of scattered and ski-wampy, but if you want to know more about that, go check out that episode of True Crime in the Morning, episode 29 on Stephen Earl Kraft. We did a deep dive on that. Thanks, Farmer. Good to see you, Jamie. What's up, Outback? And also, another strange thing I wanted to talk to you guys before we get out of here was about the Amanda Navarro case. So she was found I don't even think it was a mile from where her coordinates that she provided to law enforcement. Now, it took a specialist to find her. She was naked, leaning up against a tree in an area that was probably searched multiple times. And that's why I was telling you guys that it was so important that I go out there alone. I don't want anybody telling me, hey, I already searched over there. And then you go over there and search anyway, and now they got a chip on their shoulder. You know, because look, she was found. People are going to say, oh, well, they brought her back and dumped her, you know, just like they say with the Delphi case. But it's just not realistic. The truth is they missed her. They'll investigate it if that's not true. And they're doing an autopsy now to see if there's any foul play, which there very well could have been. There's all kinds of drifters and campers and people who live their whole life on Arizona, what's called BLM land. That's basically public land. It belongs to the state. People can go shooting there, they can go camping, they can do whatever they want out there pretty much, as long as they are respecting the rules of the law, like fire hazards and things like that. But another thing that really upset me about that case is you had two different instances that I witnessed myself where you had a group of people saying that they knew for a fact that Amanda was kidnapped and they were trying to scam the family out of like $10,000. They said, we know where she is, we know where she's being held. And then you had another gentleman out of Loughton, Oklahoma, who basically stated that he was 100% sure that he saw her. He said, I saw her. I saw the tattoos. She showed me her tattoos. She looked like she was distraught. She was with two rough-looking guys, and they prepaid gas and didn't grab their change. Paid $50 and only used like $32 worth of gas. And this guy was communicating with the family saying, it was her. I'm telling you guys, it was her, 100%. And as a loved one, you're going to latch on to that. But to me, this guy was very suspicious. For him to inject himself like that, instantly I became suspicious. And lo and behold, the very next day after this guy tried to throw off the investigation, and law enforcement did follow up on this tip. They called down there to Lawton and they asked, they didn't see the footage, but law enforcement there in Lawton did see the footage and they said, no, it's not her. This is not her. La Paz County here in Arizona Sheriff's Office did not view the footage. They took their word for it. And of course, they were 100% right to do that. I think they should have looked at the footage anyway. But obviously, law enforcement over there, they were right that it was not her. But imagine this guy. Why would he inject himself and say 100% that that was her? Right? That gave the family so much hope. And it makes people not want to be helpful. But I knew for a fact that it was false. And I was still going out there. And I even told Amanda's sister, I was like, this guy's very suspicious to me. The fact that he's injecting himself. So I'm glad that you tipped it in. And I would keep a very close eye on this person. It's very strange for him to be mentioning these details and things like that. So just, be on your guard. And he said multiple times, I am 100% sure, 100% positive. Oh, no, there was another incident locally there in Blythe, California, where somebody said that they had hit her with their car, and they were swearing up and down that this is 100% true, that her son hit Amanda with their car and that she was just now a homeless person that's running around the streets. He didn't hit her very hard. But just enough to say, hey, to stop and recognize her and engage in conversation, like, you okay? And that she was very out of it. So you had these three different stories running around, giving false hope and basically not helping people who are inspired to come out there and help. So it's that outside influence that I didn't want any effect on. And sure enough, a specialist came in there and he got the job done. Boom. He knew what he was looking at. He knew what to look for, and he went in there and he found her. I don't know who that gentleman is, or who she is, but shout out to them. Molly says, Sleuth Intuition, I bet you're right on Devlin and Kraft. Wasn't it weird time of the year to be going to a vacation house in Michigan? Yeah, I mean, he goes right by there. He travels right by there. I don't know if anybody's following a Kelly Marie Vasquez case. Kelly Marie went missing Monday morning, May 24th. I'm not sure where it's out of. See if I can pull this up. But apparently she was found. Her remains were recovered. I'm not familiar with this case. This looks like a flyer right here. Let me pull this over. Kelly Marie Vasquez. Apparently she was just found deceased. Remains were found and identified using DNA. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family. So just in case any of you are following up with that case. Saska, yes, she should have been saved. She said, I've bumped my head. I may have had a miscarriage. I'm feeling very weak, and I may have been out here for days. So these are like red flags. I mean, it's like getting smacked with it. You know, those little, like a little flag if somebody was just whacking you in the face with it. And her thinking she may have had a miscarriage, she may have been assaulted. Maybe she didn't drive herself out there. Maybe she just woke up after being assaulted and didn't make it. She was drugged and then assaulted, possibly. Or she just was having a medical issue and succumbed to the elements. I just hope they do a better job with the investigation than they did with the urgency. I just don't get it. Welcome in, Ziggy. Saska Rose. She sent a text saying they were taking her into the middle of nowhere and she was uncomfortable. I hope it's known who they are. Well, she mentioned stopping by Jack in the Box, and I believe they found a receipt, but I can't verify any of this information. I don't know. Maybe they found a Jack in the Box receipt and it wasn't hers. But maybe it was hers. But during her 911 call, and she was suffering from paranoia, so it's hard to know. Like, maybe this is the part that's hard. Maybe the staff at the hospital that she was afraid of were attacking her. I mean, here in Arizona, there was somebody at a old folks home and a woman who was being basically on life support in a catatonic state. And one of the workers there was assaulting this woman at night, and she became pregnant. Nobody even knew. She was an elderly woman. She was like 60. And apparently he had been doing it for some time. So, I mean, it is possible. But she mentioned somebody at Jack in the Box, spiked her drink or whatever because they didn't put the straw in. But we know they don't ever put the straw in. So she was definitely maybe suffering from psychosis or a head injury. I was in a car crash with a friend of mine, and he had temporary amnesia. when I was real young, when I was a teenager, we went through the windshield. And he just kept saying, I don't know who I don't, what are we doing out here? What are we doing? He kept saying, I know your name. I know my name. But like, where are we? Like, what are we doing? I was like, oh no, man. It's like, I think you might have hurt your head really bad. So temporary amnesia, that is a very real thing. I've seen it firsthand. Alrighty, guys. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me on Easter. But I am out of here. I'll see you guys soon. Members, I got something planned for you and those who like to hang out on channel 2. We're going to start getting real busy over there. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching the Sleuth Intuition channel. If you are part of the replay crew, you know what to do. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop. Sleuth Intuition is 100% crowdfunded. If you want to support me and help my channel grow, here are 3 ways that you can help. Number 1, Cash App. The funds go directly to me without YouTube taking a percentage. Number 2, become a member. Members are by far the leading contributors to my channel. Number 3, hit up the merch shop. Represent the Sleuth crew on these ruthless streets. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. Until next time.